Hello folks, today is Friday, March 3rd, 2017. As always, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about video game stuff every Friday. Number one, yes, I got a haircut. Number two, I know it looks bad. Please leave me alone. But happy Friday. This is a really good week because we get Logan in theaters and also the Nintendo Switch is here. Oh, we are so hyped, even though we are so skeptical. Maybe everything will still be okay. All of us guys here, we had one pre-ordered and we're going to just work over the weekend and get out before you buy as soon as we can. So keep your eyes peeled for that, but let's get into the news first with some PC gaming news. Nvidia announced the new GTX 1080 Ti, and the thing is an absolute beast. It's also a beast to your wallet. It's $699, but it outperforms a Titan X. Good PSA though is that they also dropped the 1080 to 500, which is still a ton of money, but it's still basically one of the best GPUs out there now, of course, not counting the 1080 Ti. This announcement didn't come as a surprise or anything. Most people can really predict Nvidia's cycles now, but if you want to just burn the house down with your video game graphics, now you can. One of the more funny, stupid things you may have not heard about this week, we already brought up the Nintendo Switch launching, and PlayStation North America congratulated Nintendo on Twitter with the launch of the Switch, but PlayStation in Italy had a very different response.
Yo, is there like rap beef between these dudes?
There is actual rap beef, yes. The official Twitter account, PlayStation Italia, tweeted this. Now, look, they have the red image that looks like it's advertising a Switch, but it's not. It's a spin on the Switch. And the translation in the red square translates to, "Tomorrow is a special day for the world of gaming." And then on the flip side, it shows the PS4 and the PS4 logo, and it says, "PS4 is yours at only €199. That's pretty fucking good if you ask me. That's a good ad, and that's a solid troll by PlayStation. Maybe it's just a European thing, like maybe they have more balls to make fun of Nintendo a little bit, while the North America account is like, oh, good job. But either way, it's entertaining for us, I can't lie. It honestly reminds me of the ads from the old days of video game consoles where each company would basically put out ads insulting each other's graphics. I would almost like us to regress back to that, but that's just me. But one of the things I was most excited for this week, besides all the cool new things we're getting, was the announcement of Shadow of War, the newest Middle-earth game following Shadow of Mordor. Why did I say it like that? Leaked to us not by a website with good video game journalism, but Target itself. Thanks, Target. Thanks a lot. It looks like almost like it was like a jump the gun type of thing, and it caused Monolith and Warner Brothers to release this trailer early. I talked about it a few weeks ago that they were apparently a tease to announce something, and it was going to either be a new Batman game or a Mordor game from Warner Brothers, and it looks like that's the case. It's a new Mordor game, and all we got is this incredible cinematic trailer. It looks really cool. It looks like they're really doubling down on Lord of the Rings lore this time around. You got Celebrimbor crafting rings and all that stuff. I'm really curious to see where this goes, but the only information we really do have is that the Nemesis system is expanding to more than just orcs in the overworld, so I'd really like to see you facing off against other humans and basically forming rivalries with them. That'd be super awesome. I hope I don't come off as like really hypey or anything, but Shadow of Mordor was one of my favorite games the year it released. Actually, I think I put it in my top 3 or something of that year.
The same year where you gave great praise to Sunset Overdrive?
Sunset Overdrive is a good game, you piece of shit. But speaking of top 3, it looks like we got our first look at Borderlands 3, question mark, maybe? At GDC, Gearbox revealed a tech demo for the graphics engine, showing off something that very much clearly looks like Borderlands 3. And they didn't say it was Borderlands 3, they kind of danced around it, but I think that can be assumed. Take a look at it. It looks really incredible. I think if anything, if you like or dislike Borderlands, the visual style was really cool, as much as we see that more and more now. They were incredible looking games, and it seems like they're really kind of taking it to the next level here. But of course, this is still probably very early on. I think they announced Borderlands 3 before they even really started working on it. They were still hiring for it, so I don't think we're going to actually see the game for quite some time. But hey, I guess if this is a first look, I'll take it. And I know fans of Borderlands definitely will take anything they can get. But in seemingly a surprise move, Xbox announced something called Xbox Game Pass, which is basically you pay a $9.99 US subscription fee every month, and then you basically get, quote unquote, the Netflix of video games. You get a large access to Microsoft's Xbox library from 360 and Xbox One games, and you don't stream them like PS4's service, PS Now. You actually download them to your hard drive and you play them as normal. That, I think, automatically gives it a leg up, but the service isn't for everyone, especially if you're the type of person who is paying for Xbox Live Gold and then tacking on a $9.99 with that. That being said, you don't need Xbox Live Gold. You can just pay this fee so everyone can get access. I also think this is very cool, but for a lot of people, especially if you have a PC or you just hang on to your older consoles, you still have means of playing these old games. I can see people just hopping in and paying the $9.99 fee once in a while just to get a couple games here and there and then stop the subscription. If you live in a part of the country that has a bandwidth cap that you're kind of limited there, I guess. I think for current gen games that people haven't gotten their hands on, I think this service could prove valuable. It's still in testing phases, and Xbox preview people are going to be able to check it out first. There's going to be a lot of games. It's starting with only 100, but they're going to be adding quite a bit, and they're also going to rotate and fall out of rotation similar to Netflix's library. I'm very curious to see how this pans out because they are seeming to tackle it from a different perspective from something like PS Now or even the GeForce live streaming experience. This seems to be the new thing, and I'm curious to see if you guys, like if Xbox fans are into it, definitely let us know in the comments because I don't know about this one. Speaking of something I don't know about, seriously, Nier Automata, I don't know if you guys saw this headline, but Nier Automata allows you to spend in-game currency to basically purchase trophies. Now, however, that's something I immediately freaked out on, but then what did I do? I looked for context and I read the entire article. And the details of this really is that, you know, the game gives you a lot first. You have to beat the game multiple times, and if you are good enough, essentially, you can get the ability to do this. I still think it kind of degrades the impact of trophies and achievements for people who do like those things. But hey, it's all about freedom, right? I mean, that doesn't really, is that freedom? I don't know. Are video games freedom? And since, you know, stupid old Jake's still holding out hope for video game movies, there's more video game movie news. Of course, take this all with a grain of salt, but one of the producers behind the Fast and Furious movies is producing a Sleeping Dogs movie, and Donnie Yen is going to be playing Wei Shun. For those of you that don't know, Donnie Yen is most famous for something like Ip Man, and also he was Chirrut Imwe in Star Wars Rogue One, and he's really incredible. He's a great, talented, charismatic, awesome actor who can do his own stunts. And it's really funny that they're making a Sleeping Dogs movie because on the one hand, it seems like such a not movie type of thing because we've seen so many movies like that where it's just you're an undercover cop. But if you think about it, we haven't had like a Hong Kong undercover cop action movie since the early John Woo days. Maybe there is a market for this, but then again, maybe not at all. Also, this is kind of like the least video game movie, so maybe there could be something good to come out of this. I don't know. I doubt it, but we're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. But in terms of things that we have to wait and see about, Ubisoft might be in trouble with the Bolivian government. I don't know if you guys have been following. Maybe you hopped into the Ghost Recon Wildlands beta, but the game takes place in Bolivia, and it basically portrays Bolivia as this like drug cartel riddled place that is terrible. And of course, you know, these are games of fiction and they can do whatever they want. But every once in a while, when a game portrays a country this way and doubles down on it, countries get mad about it. It happened with Venezuela with Mercenaries 2. I remember that very fondly because at the time, the Venezuelan president Chavez was a very scary dude. But what Bolivia did here was file a formal complaint against France. France, of course, houses Ubisoft and said, hey, do something about this. And if you don't, we're going to do and pursue legal action on our own. I don't really think this is going to go anywhere, but it is always interesting when countries hear about the stuff and actually rise up against it. I don't know. I guess somebody in Bolivian government played the Wildlands beta. I don't know. But in a surprise bit, we also got some Destiny 2 news. We all kind of waited around to shoot the show later this week because we got a whiff of some news. And then it turns out the announcement was really just that Destiny 2, most of your stuff will not transfer over, which is something that most Destiny players already kind of knew, paying attention to interviews from the past, but now it's officially confirmed from Bungie. The only thing that will transfer over is basically generally what your character looks like when you created them underneath the helmet. That's it. No abilities, no skills, no weapons, no armor. Anything else you achieved in Destiny is being wiped clean, which is very contrary to what so many people bought into the Destiny thing for because they wanted this whole real 10-year plan that Activision and Bungie were talking up. Like it was going to be this MMO character that circulated with you. And it doesn't really seem like that's the case. But you can also argue that Destiny 2 needs a fresh start. It needs to start with a better and more stronger foundation to get more players and make people actually think Destiny 2 is really good because the original Destiny was polarizing for some players. I'm paying close attention to Destiny 2 though because I dropped off with the original Destiny, and if number 2 can right the wrongs and just be a more strong game, I said number 2, didn't I? Yeah, I'm all about that. I love second chances with games because it usually always works out in our favor. And not always, but you know. But that's really what's going on in video games this week. I guess since there's so much other things going on with console launches and stuff, but it's still not going to stop us from doing our console giveaway we do every week. You guys know how it works. There's a link below. You click it, you enter, you sign up once, and then you're entered forever. And then every single week we go in and randomly choose one winner to win a free console of their choice. Just as an FYI, last week we actually accidentally picked the same giveaway winner twice. Oops. I know that seemed kind of weird to some people, but thanks for calling us out on it. It was just an honest mistake, that's it. But this week's winner is going to be this person right here. Congratulations. Keep an eye on your spam folder and your inbox and your email. I'm gonna be getting in touch with you to figure out how I can send you your console. But now we gotta talk about all the stuff that is going on this week. If you did get a Nintendo Switch, let us know how you feel about it. But also, let's talk about other stuff for those of you who hate Nintendo. Shadow of War, what do you expect from it? Do you expect a bigger game, a more beautiful environment, and more orc killing? Or do you want a bit more? Do you want more RPG elements? Do you want a giant open world? What do you want? And also, if you're the type of person that has, either whether it's on Steam or Xbox or PS4, trophies and achievements, do you think you should be able to access them more easily in a game by spending in-game currency or points? Does that bother you, especially if you really like collecting those things and you feel like it's a badge of honor? Are you all about it or not? Let's talk about any of that stuff down in the comments below. I'll be down there answering your questions as much as possible in between playing the Switch. But also know, if you really want to get in touch with me and get a better line at me, you can easily find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Jake Baldino as well. But thank you guys so much for coming around, watching this show every week. Clicking the like button helps us out a ton. We really appreciate it. And of course, if you sat through this entire video, I hope you've subscribed by now, but if you haven't, we put out videos every single day, so you should. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Pizza's on me. I'll see you at PAX East if you're there. I'll give you a kiss on the lips. I won't kiss you, but